Hi y'all, Connie here. So I thought that I would take a few minutes and show you how I wind a center pull ball from a hank. So this is one of my minis for the color theory blanket that I've been working on. And although I do have a yarn swift and a little cake winder, skein winder, no, cake winder, I guess. I haven't had it with me because we've been moving quite a bit, right? So I've been doing most of my skeins by hand, and of course, because I'm trying to do this through the camera, I'm making a mess of unwinding this. So typically, what I'll do is I'll put this loop around my knees or something like that, so that it put some tension on it while I unwind it. But you can leave it stretched out. It just is gonna go a little bit slower to do it that way. So anyway, this is something that my mother taught me a long time ago, how to do a center pull ball. So here we go. So I take it, whatever end I'm starting with, and I hold on to the end, and then I wrap it either around one or two fingers. If I'm doing a teeny tiny leftover bit, then I'll usually only go around one finger. So I'm just gonna wind and wind and wind and wind until I get a fair bit. And then if I need more yarn, then I just pull it around there. And then I'm gonna kind of turn and cross hatch it for a little ways. Oops, don't let go of that though. So you wanna hold on to that guy right there. All right, so I'm just gonna wind it this way, get more yarn. Yeah, see, this is much easier if you've got it stretched out somewhere. And so when I've got enough here, just enough to kind of hold together, then I'm going to pull this off my fingers, like so, okay? And then I'm going to keep this tail. I'm going to hold on to it with these two fingers back here. And I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to put it in that hole right there to kind of hold the center of that. And now I'm just going to wind. Need more yarn. I'm just going to wind around. And see, I'm still holding onto this tail and I'm just poking my thumb in that hole. That way, as I go through here, I can turn it and keep my finger in that hole. Get more yarn. And I'm holding onto that tail so that it doesn't get eaten up by the yarn. And so I can just turn it, or you can turn it constantly, depending on how you like to do a ball of yarn. And then, of course, if you're not filming it, you can go faster. Or if you unwind your hank all the way first, which I also do sometimes, especially if I'm in the car. If I'm doing this on the road, I will sometimes open up the hank and then completely unravel it, just a big old pile of yarn spaghetti, right? And then I'll wind the ball from there. So see, there's the center pull part right there. And also, so my grandmother used to wind balls of yarn so tight that I swear they felt like rocks. It would hurt you if she threw one at you. She wound that yarn so tight it just was not squishable. And you want it to have some squish, right? Because if you pull on this yarn, so like if you pull it tight, it makes it skinnier, right? You see that? You pull it tight, it makes it skinnier. And so if it stays wound into a really tight ball for a long time, it's going to take the bounce right out of that yarn. So I guess if you wanted a thinner weight yarn, you could do that and transform it. But depending on what it was made from, once you washed it, it might not stay that way. But yeah, you want to have a gentle tension as you're doing this. And if you have trouble remembering that, what you can do is you can wind over 1 or 2 fingers like this. So see, I'm still holding with my thumb, but I'm going to wind around, and then I'm going to pull my fingers out. And I'm going to turn, keep holding that. See, I don't normally do it this way, but my mother does it this way to make sure that she doesn't wind it too tight. And then don't tangle up your yarn too much. I'm not paying as much attention to it as I normally would because I'm filming here for you guys. And so then you just gently pull your fingers out. Keep hold of that tail and just turn it a little bit and keep winding. All right, I'm gonna have to stop here or I'm gonna have a great big mess with my yarn. But that's how I wind a center pull ball of yarn. And then of course, if you decided afterwards later that you didn't want to pull from the center, you could still pull from the outside of this, right? So that's all there is to it. Oh, don't do that. Okay, stopping here. Thanks, y'all. See you next time.